All right, so we're on lesson 16. I hope everyone's week is going great. If it's not, I hope that my voice can cheer you up. And if it doesn't, email me because I'm here for you guys. This is a tough time. But I appreciate all the hard work you're putting in and making work up as we go. All right, and it's gonna be May. That's from NSYNC. If you don't know, that's creepy Justin Timberlake in the right-hand corner. All right, anyway, so lesson 16 is circle vocab continued because I don't want to start this unit without you guys having a really good background of all the parts of the circle that we're going to be looking at. And when we start finding angles, I don't want you to be confused. Okay, this is due Thursday by midnight. Please be on time for your work. I give you 2 days. I give you more than 24 hours to do this. Stay on top of it so that you don't have so much to make up or you just lose 10 points for no reason. Okay. Also make up any missing work in general, but if you need a guideline, if you're missing lessons 2 through 5 or lessons 14 or 15, please make them up this week by Friday or the weekend so that you're not overwhelmed with me emailing you and parents asking you and admin coming to you and saying, why aren't you completing your work? All right. So what you're going to do is take notes while you watch the video. You can do this on a document or handwritten, whatever you want. This will be submitted and then complete the worksheet attached on Google Classroom. Some of you are forgetting to take notes. You will just get a 5 out of 10 if you're not going to be doing that, or possibly a 0, depending on how you do on the worksheet that is attached, okay? So this is all new vocab that we need to pay attention to. Just in general, again, we've talked about circles in the real world, but if you need to be reminded, a lot of professions, we need to know just the basics of these parts and what's happening. Manufacturers, making anything circular, literally anything in your house, anything we use, tires for my car, bike. I see kids riding their bikes around. If something's wrong with the bike, parts or those middle parts, those stems in there, it's not going to work properly. Architecture, flow of density in our velocity and vector form, GPS. So density in terms of if anyone's going into, they want to build, they want to weld, they want to, even just little things like in, like any profession, density is just how heavy something is depending on the gravity. So, I'm not a science person, but anyways, the car's odometer measures distance. Odometer is like how fast you're going, the little like thing that moves like from 20 to 50 miles per hour. That's measuring something for circles. Literally something on my table is circular. All right, so new words. Arc is 2 endpoints on a circle, and all the points on the circle between those 2 endpoints, that is an arc. So we have two different types. We have a major arc, which is an arc greater than 180 degrees. So that's the one in purple. It's going around that whole circle. And we have a minor arc, which is an arc less than 180 degrees. So think of major as big, minor as little. An arc has to be on that rim of this or the circumference of that circle. It's not anywhere else. So an arc is only on the edge of the circle. And an arc can be whatever size, right? If sometimes we may not know if it's a major or minor arc because we'd have to measure it. Sometimes we can't just tell from the picture. One way to tell from the picture is that a major arc is bigger than 180 degrees. So we know that a semicircle is 180 degrees, so it has a 180 degree arc. So this whole arc right here, and I want to see if I can write on this. So this whole arc right here is 180 degrees. So if I have anything smaller, this little thing is smaller than 180. This one, it has to be larger than 180. So think about it. Think about it also in terms of like the area of this whole circle. So this whole thing inside here is 180 degrees. If I added another half circle, I would get 180 plus 180, which would be 360, which is all the degrees in a circle, which we should know, right? A full rotation is 360 degrees. So minor is small, it's less than 180 degrees, and major is larger. So when we talk about an angle, we're actually talking about, this stuff in here, right? This is an angle. We use an arc, honestly, to measure an angle. So all of this would be less than, think of it like a pizza pie, okay? All right. Next one. So be able to identify what's that, and just write down definitions. Just another picture of a minor and major arc. Again, they have to be on the rim, on the outside of that circle. Remember, semicircle is measured by, it's basically the half of the circle. The half line is the diameter. It goes from edge to edge. Some of you are still confusing radius and diameter. Diameter is the whole line. Radius is half. Okay, so the radius would be DC or CE here. Next, another picture. We have a major arc in purple. Those are the big ones. The little ones are the red ones. They're minor. They're smaller than 180. In the first picture, we have a chord. Remember, a chord is through the circle, but it stops at the edge. So it's not like an arrow. It stops with those two dots in the edge. In the middle, we have the central angle. And this has to touch the center. So a lot of you are confusing like what this, you don't pick any angle. It has to touch the center point to be a central angle. Okay. And then on the third picture, we have an inscribed angle. So inscribed just means inside. Remember, we talked about inscribed polygons. They're inside the circle. Same idea. Inscribed angle means it's just an angle inside the circle. And we will be seeing these soon next week. So just keep an eye out for those. Okay. All right, new word. A secant line is a line that intersects with a circle at 2 points. So the other day you guys learned about a tangent line. A tangent line only touches at 1 point. It touches on the edge. A secant will touch at 2 points. So those are the major differences between those two. So it goes through the circle and touches the circle twice. Okay, and you can pause it to write down that definition if you need to. All right, so you won't be seeing just always like simple circles like this. Sometimes there's going to be a chord. Sometimes there's going to be a diameter. Sometimes there's going to be a central angle also inside. So that's why I want to train you guys to be able to identify all these parts. Sectors, a region inside a circle bounded by a central angle and the minor arc. So basically think of a sector as like a piece of the circle, like a pizza pie. You take out a piece of pizza, that's literally called a sector. If you order pizza I usually eat pizzas on Friday. If you order a piece of pizza, you can call it a sector because it's a sector. It's a piece of the pizza. Okay. Bring some knowledge to the dinner table. All right. So this can be any size, but it has to touch the middle. So when we cut a pizza, think about it. If our pizza's not cut from the center, we're going to be mad. Like that's not a pizza. A pizza needs to be cut. There has to be a middle point and there needs to be pieces coming out. Equal sizes. But our sector can be any size, right? Sometimes I get the small pizza, my sister gets the bigger pizza, and I'm like, what are you doing? I get the bigger pizza, right? So piece of pizza. So think of sector as like a piece. It has to go from the center and it has a minor arc, okay? This is and I also want you to write this down. This is the formula to find the area of a sector. So if you ever want to find the area of your pizza pie or, any type of sector, this is the formula for it. So area of a sector, we know area of a circle is pi r squared, which we learned before. Area of a sector is take the degrees of the angle. So you got to find the angle of your pizza pie. This might be a project. Just kidding. I don't know. Take the angle of your pizza pie, divide it by 360. Oh, I wonder why it's 360. Because 360 degrees is the whole circle. It's a whole circle. So you're taking the part divided by the total and you multiply it by the whole area of the circle. And that's the area of your sector or your pizza. All right. And that was the last definition. So putting all together, sometimes pictures of circles will look like this. You have multiple parts, but they won't be labeled for you. So that's what you're going to be doing in your assignment. I'm going to give you a diagram again without the names on them, and you're going to have to name them using letters. And I'm going to explain that after I just read this to you. But now you've made it this far. Thank you. If you are a shining star if you've watched my whole video. And I mean that. It's not easy to learn math online. I respect each and every one of you who are taking this and me seriously, and all your teachers seriously. We're trying to make content for you. I definitely do take time out of my day to make sure you guys understand this. And if you don't, you have to email me because I'll never know. And a lot of you, you comment, you tell me this is helpful, and that makes me happy. So, and I know one day we'll be able to be in contact with each other again. But I'm always available on Zoom if you do need extra help. We'll get through this together. All right, so looking at your homework. So again, homework is taking notes on the video we just did together, and you're going to do the same thing as the other day. Name the given vocab word from each diagram. So remember, when you name a point, you're using one letter. A lot of you were giving me I don't even know, some of you were giving me. So if I asked you for the center point on this first diagram, it would just be O. Looking at this. This would just be O. Center's O. One letter. If you're talking about a point. Point of tangent Z. One letter. A lot of these aren't one letters, so you're fine. You're not going to be using one letters. When you name a line, you use two letters. So if it's a chord, diameter, radius, secant line, tangent line, you're using two letters. So I'll give you an example. A chord in number 1 in this diagram in front of me right here would be BC. So that's a chord, right? It can go, it's just touching two parts of the circle right across, right? It doesn't stop in the middle. It touches, it goes across to both sides of a circle. When you name an arc, you also use two letters. So an example of an arc in this first circle would be BC. BC would be an arc. This is an arc, BC. It's definitely a minor arc. AD is also an arc. AB is also an arc. There's so many. There's as many pieces as there are. DC is also an arc. So, when I ask you for an arc, that you're using two letters. A central angle, if you're naming an angle, you're using three letters. So for the first one, the central angle for this one, remember the central angle or the sector. Think of the pizza pie. Our pizza pie has to be perfect. It has to stem from the middle. So any piece that stems from that middle. So from the center, the only two lines that come from the center are these two. So my central angle or my sector would be called A, and then go to the middle, O, and then D. So you're going from outside to center to outside. Okay, and that's how you name it. So I gave you the first one. All right, diameter, chord, you guys should know those. Secant line, that's a new one. So look back in the PowerPoint if you need help with that. There may be, there's just one. So find that one. Tangent line, there's just one in there. So find that one. Again, you're using two letters the best you can. And chord. Okay, there's technically two, so you can pick whichever one you want. And then for 7 and 8, you're just telling me actually what a major arc and a minor arc is, like definition-wise. And then number 9, what is one real-world reason you use or where you see circles? So not just in general. Don't give me bike and you don't even own one or don't know how to ride one. Give me something true that you use or see every day. I'm not going to help you with that because you should be able to see circles. Okay? And if you do need help, email me. I am available. You guys are doing great for those staying on top of things. All right? I will talk to you guys soon.